Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good
Good
afternoon.
afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. How is everybody?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Good. Okay. So we are going to start with a new chapter today.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Which one?
Madam writes the verse.
Madam writes the bus.
Yes. Have you read the chapter at least?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
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 ma'am.
ma'am.
Good.
Half read.
yes, ma'am.
Huh?
Yes.
Let me know if the audio visual is clear, okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Hello students, today we are going to study the story Madam Rides the Bus
Subbuji?
written by Vallikanan.
Yes,
Let
ma'am.
us
Yes,
talk a little
ma'am.
about the writer before
Clear
delving
achi?
into the story. The
Yes,
Tamil writer, journalist, critic and translator R.S. Krishnasamy used the pseudonym Vallikannan. In 1978, he received the Sahitya Academy Award for his
ma'am. Screen
critical
को बड़
work
करिए बनी.
called The Birth and Growth of Modern
ବଡ
Tamil
ମୁଁ
Poetry.
କରିବାକୁ ଟ୍ରାଏ
He
କରୁଛି
died
ଗୋଟେ
in 2000.
ମିନିଟ୍। ଆଚ୍ଛା ମୋର ହେଡସେଟ ରେ କାହିଁକି ଶୁଭୁନି? ମତେ ତ ଶୁଭୁନି ଭଏସ।
Ma'am, we can listen.
Yes, ma'am. We can hear this.
Okay.
2006. We shall now begin.
I am not able to get the.
Hello students. Today we are going to study
enough.
the story
Wait a minute.
Madam Rides the Bus.
Stop and share again.
मैं आपको earcut use କରୁଛନ୍ତି କି?
ମୋ ଭଏସ ଆସୁଛି ତ ତମକୁ?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
ହ୍ୟାଲୋ।
ma'am ଆମ voice ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ଯାଉଛି?
ହଁ ଅଭି ଆସିଲା। ମୋ ଭଏସ ଆସୁଛି ତ?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay. ଶୁଣା ଯାଉଛି?
ma'am ଏବେ ହିଁ ଆସିଲା. ma'am. ma'am, no, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
ନାଇଁ।
ma'am ଏଥର ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ଶୁଭୁଥିଲା?
ନାଇଁ ମତେ ଶୁଭୁନି ଆକ୍ଚୁଆଲି। ମତେ କାଢିବାକୁ ପଡିବ ଏଇ ହେଡସେଟ ଟା।
The pseudonym
ଅଭି ଶୁଭିଲା? ଗୋଟେ ମିନିଟ୍।
ma'am ଶୁଭୁଥିଲା ଫେର କିନ୍ତୁ ବନ୍ଦ ହେଇଗଲା କିନ୍ତୁ ଆମ ସ୍କ୍ରିନ୍ ରେ ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ଆସିନି.
ହଁ
ଆଇଲା.
ହଁ ହଁ ମୋ ପଛ। ଏଇଟା ଫୁଲ ସ୍କ୍ରିନ୍ ହଉନି ମୁଁ ଜାଣିନି କଣ ପାଇଁ।
Hello students. Today we are going to study the story Madam Rides
Voice
the
आइला.
Bus written by
ତମକୁ କ୍ଲିୟର ଅଛି ତ?
Vallikanan. Let us
Yes,
talk a
ma'am.
little about the
Yes,
writer
ma'am.
Yes,
before
ma'am.
delving
Okay.
into the story. The Tamil writer, journalist, critic and translator R.S. Krishnasamy used the pseudonym Vallikannan. In 1978, he received the Sahitya Academy Award for his critical work called The Birth and Growth of Modern Tamil Poetry. He died in 2006. We shall now begin with the story. Right at the beginning, we are introduced to the 8-year-old girl, Valyammai or Valli. She is the central character of today's story. Valli is a loner who prefers observing the street from a front door rather than playing with the children of her age. Among all the things she observes, she is particularly interested in a bus. The bus travels between her village and the town. She is envious of her friends who get to ride the bus and visit the town. She desperately longs for a chance to do the same. Often, one of her friends would ride a bus and describe the sights of the town to the other girls. Valli and her friends would taunt her and call her proud. Neither Valli nor her friends understand what proud means. and use it as a slang. From this little interaction, we learn how certain foreign words infiltrate the vocabulary of local or rural people with changed meanings. Just as many villagers wish to get a taste of city life, they also aspire for an English education. Let us come back to the story. Valli gathers information about the town by listening to the passengers who travel by the bus. She learns that the bus takes 45 minutes to reach the city and the fare for one way is 30 paisa. It is difficult for her to afford both way rides, but she does not give up hope. She plans, calculates, and recalculates. One spring afternoon, she finally manages to board the bus. The good-humored bus conductor jokes at her precociousness. He addresses her as Madam and incites laughter from the passengers. Valli soon gets busy, admiring the interiors of the bus and the scenery outside. She has to stand on her seat to peer outside. A concerned passenger asks her to sit down, afraid she would hurt herself. She retorts that she is not a child because she has paid the fare like the adults. Next, an elderly woman notices her traveling alone and expresses her concern. Valli judges the woman by her unattractive appearance and behaves badly with her. The author then describes how painstakingly Valli has managed to save money for her trip. She has resisted the temptations of buying peppermints, toys, balloons, or riding the merry-go-round at the village fair. To escape notice, she has planned the trip round the time when her mother naps in the afternoon. All this indicates the intensity of her desire to visit the town. Next, we see Valli's first experience of a moving bus. The thrill of her first ride is expressed in how she observes the motion of the bus. The bus rolled on now, cutting across a bare landscape, now rushing through a tiny hamlet or past an odd wayside shop. Sometimes the bus seemed on the point of gobbling up another vehicle that was coming towards them or a pedestrian crossing the road. Suddenly, the bus encounters a disturbed cow running wildly in the middle of the road. Being too young, the girl fails to understand the cow's pain and laughs uncontrollably at the funny sight. The bus finally moves into the town. It is Valli's first sight of the town. Valli is filled with wonder at the abundance of glittering merchandise and people. The conductor offers to buy Valli a cold drink. Noticing her reluctance to explore the place, she refuses the drink as she has no money to pay for it. Thus, little Valli proves her integrity. On the way back home, she is just as interested in the sights outside as before. However, soon she has her first encounter with death, which greatly dampens her spirits. The cow, which had been galloping on the road, has met with an accident. It now lies dead on the road. The ghastly sight fills her with terror, and she loses her interest in the scenery outside. She probably also realizes that her thoughtless laughter at the animal's plight on the up journey had been insensitive. She, however, regains her spirits by the time she reaches back to her village in the afternoon. She bids a friendly goodbye to the conductor, who invites her for another ride whenever she wishes. Back home, she overhears her mother's conversation with an aunt. The words spoken by her mother are symbolic in the sense that Valli can connect it with her recent adventure. Her mother says it is not possible to know everything that happens around us. Moreover, knowledge alone does not guarantee understanding. Valli smiles at the knowledge that her mother will never discover her secret. With that, we come to the end of our video lesson. Hope you like the story of little Valli. See you soon.
So what did you learn from it?
Yes, ma'am.
What did you learn?
Ma'am, we should not make
Age,
of any creature.
Make
age do
fun.
not matter.
Hmm?
Age is just a number. Age is just a number.
Age is just a number. Age is just a number for what?
Ma'am, in any age you can do anything you want. It doesn't require that you are means 15 years old. You will do this only. You can't do that one. You are 6 years old. You can do this only. You can't do that one. He or she can do that one also. Why not? If he or she want.
Okay,
Like
but then that comes with
like your Wali is very
that will
mature.
again come with some consequences.
Yes,
That will
ma'am.
again come with some consequences that you will face,
Yes, ma'am.
isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
You there is the what you said, Shubham, is partially correct, as in there is an age for everything. Okay, it's not that some things are not for you at a particular age, and that is why your parents or your elders in the family, they ask you not to do it. It's not that you cannot do it, but they are concerned, and that's, I mean, your elders know what is good for you and what is not. Okay,
18 plus ପରେ ଶୁଭମ
so
ସେଟା
that's
true
the
ହେଇଯିବ means ଶୁଭମ ଯା କହିଲା
କଣ ହେଇଯିବ?
means 18 plus ପରେ means ଶୁଭମ ଯା କହିଲା means age doesn't matter because ତାପରେ ତ creativity ଆଉ skill ହିଁ matter କରିବ 18 plus ପରେ like that ଗୋଟେ 18 plus ପିଲା ବି business start କରିପାରିବ and ଗୋଟେ 60 plus ପିଲା ବି business start କରିପାରିବ
ଆଚ୍ଛା, 18 ପ୍ଲସ୍ ପିଲାର ସେତେ knowledge ଥିବ business start କରିବା ପାଇଁ? To start a business, it's not easy. It's not just the money that you need. It's a whole lot of other things. It's
My
not that
father
easy.
started business at
After
his
18,
younger age.
it's not that.
Ma'am,
That's,
my father started
see,
business
from
at
the story you do
at a
not.
younger age.
How, what age?
Ma'am, I don't know, but I listened stories of some 19, 20 years or 21 years he was.
But that is very exceptional case, because ତମର business କଣ ପାପା ଆରମ୍ଭ କରିଥିଲେ ନା ତମ ଦାଦା ପରଦାଦା ଠୁ ଥିଲା ସେ
Ma'am,
business ଟା? ପାପା start କରିଥିଲେ. Okay, but ସେଇ
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am,
business
a
start
different
କରିବା
business,
ପୂର୍ବରୁ
a
ସେ ତାଙ୍କର
different business.
particular, ହଁ, but ସେ ତାଙ୍କର homework ଟା କରିଥିବେ, ମାନେ କଣ ଦରକାର, କେମିତି କଣ କରିବାର ଅଛି, କେତେ time ନେଇଥିବେ ସେଟାକୁ
Yes,
plan
ma'am.
କରିବା ପାଇଁ, and then execute କରିଥିବେ.
Yes, ma'am.
ମୁଁ ସେଇଟା ହିଁ
Yes, ma'am.
କହୁଛି.
That
But a story re ame say mane this story does not focus on age and what you can do, what you cannot do. This story is focusing on the innocent thoughts and innocent dreams, small dreams that as kids we have. Okay,
Ma'am, also on the
going on a
desire.
bus, mane money kete. Yes, that is what I'm saying. Desire.
Yes.
As a child tomorrow dreams kona, as a child tomorrow desire kona. Here we see that Valli is like very taro innocent desire kon thila. She wanted to go for a ride in a bus from her village to the town and then town to the village back. Okay, and here we see a simple experience of a standard 8 girl. She was in standard 8, isn't it? Class 8 re thila ta? Say
No,
yes or
ma'am.
no.
Her age was 8 years old.
8 years
Okay, तो एते टाइम लागिला, you were verifying.
ଆପଣ I think miss ଆପଣ
ଏଠି
କହିଲେ
ତ ସାମ୍ନାରେ, ହଁ ମୁଁ ଜାଣିକି କହିଲି, ଏଠି ତ ସାମ୍ନାରେ ଲେଖା ହେଇଛି is about a brave 8-year-old girl. ମୁଁ ତ ଜାଣିକି କହିଲି standard 8 ରେ ପଢୁଥିଲା ନା ନାହିଁ. That means you were not attentive, isn't it? Isn't it? Attentive ଥିଲ ନା ନାହିଁ?
ma'am, we were.
Okay. So this story does not talk about age in whichever age you can do anything. It's not that, but it is sharing, it is focusing, and it is highlighting on simple experiences of an 8-year-old girl. Okay, what all she learns in this whole ମାନେ जो ride रे से bus रे जो गला, what is she learning, ता ପାଇଁ केमती गोटे learning experience हैला. Okay, the way she spoke to the strangers, से निजो integrity केमती रखिला. जेबे ताकू हमको तो के भी फ्री रे अरे ने रोल खाई दे कहले हम खाई देबा, पैसा थाउ न थाउ से तो पेमेंट करिवो मोर कोन जाउची हम तो खाइ देबा बट गोटे छोटो 8 वर्षर झियो सेटा कला की वली सेटा कला की
No, ma'am.
वली कोन कला के
Ma'am,
कहबो
she
मते
refused to accept that drink.
yes and why did she refuse
Ma'am, because she didn't have
Because
that much money to pay for it and then consume it.
Because he
yes
bought the money for the bus fare, not to
yes
spend money.
and an amazing thing that we could even see of Wali, that how determined she was to ride in a bus, go for a ride. Okay, that she had cut short on spending her money unnecessarily. She was able to save money for, and she planned it. She organized it in a very nice manner. She gathered all the important informations like kete time heichi, kete time lage, village ରୁ town ପହଞ୍ଚିବା ପାଇଁ okay ticket କେତେ ପଇସା. She gathered all the important information and accordingly based on the information she had a proper plan. Okay, she was very focused and determined. She was not in a hurry. Okay, she did everything, she planned, she gathered money. Okay, and how did she gather money? She stopped buying balloons and peppermints and all of her favorite things from the fair. ଠିକ ଅଛି ସେ ଯୋଉ ହାଟ ତାଙ୍କର ପଡୁଥିଲା କି ଯାହାବି ତମେ ଯାହାବି କହିବ ମୀନା ବଜାର କି ଯାହାବି ସେଇଠୁ ସେ ଅଯଥା ଖର୍ଚ୍ଚ କରିବା ବନ୍ଦ କଲା and then she was so focused and determined to go in a ride in that bus that she collected, she saved at the age of 8. At the age of 8 she behaved so maturely ହେଲା. ଏଇଟା ବି ଏଇ ସବୁ ଜିନିଷ ଆମେ ଦେଖିବାକୁ ପାଉଛୁ. ଏଇଟା ନାଇଁ କି କୋଉ ବି ଏଜ ରେ କିଛି ବି କରିଦବ ହେଲା. ଠିକ ଅଛି ବୁଝି ହେଲା
Yes,
ଶାନ୍ତନୁ? Okay, Ishana, you want to add anything?
ma'am, in this chapter we also came to know what is actual death and what we understand about death. Can we add that? Like,
And how will you explain it further because of the cows that we saw?
yes, ma'am. Ma'am, could we relate to that?
Here it's not about death. Here it's not about death, but if you remember in the video also it showed in the first instant she only saw that the cow is galloping and he's acting like a mad in the middle of the road. Okay, but there was some problem in him. So what happens is sometimes we are not able to clearly judge or clearly understand the problem of the person who is in front of us. Okay, and we mock or we laugh at them or we discourage them, we tell them some hurtful words or anything, but then the next moment we understand that there is a very different story in that, and then so that is the basic lesson that was in that particular incident.
Yes,
Understood?
ma'am.
You should not laugh. किसी के ऊपर हंसना नहीं चाहिए बिना जाने कि उसका वो ऐसा क्यों कर रहा है. You always have to know two sides of the story. Never listen to one person of that incident. कोई भी incident हो, आप कभी एक तरफा सुन के उस पे react ना करो. You have to listen to both of the both of them. Like if you have three friends, three of you are best friends, and one of you have fought with somebody. Okay, X, Y, Z. So Y has fought with X, and Y is going and telling Z about X. Okay, so as Z, if you are Z, what will be the right thing for you to do is go and listen to what X has to say about Y and Y has to say about X, and then tally. Think ଟିକେ ନିଜର ବୁଦ୍ଧି ଲଗେଇବ, ଦେଖିବ କି କାହାର ଭୁଲ ଅଛି, ଦି ଜଣଙ୍କର ଭୁଲ ଅଛି, ବସିବ ସାମ୍ନାରେ କଥା କରେଇବ and ସେଇ ହିସାବରେ react କରିବ. ଜଣଙ୍କର ସବୁବେଳେ situation କଥାରେ କେବେ ଭାସିଯିବନି. So likewise କେବେ ବି ସାମ୍ନା ବାଲାର କିଛି ବି problem ଅଛି କି
both the reason
କୋଉ ଜିନିଷ ପାଇଁ ବି ଯଦି ମାନେ first know the reason why that person is reacting in the way he or she is. Okay, so ଗାଈର ସେ ତାର innocence ରେ ଅବଶ୍ୟ 8 years old ଝିଅଟା ସେ କିଛି ଜାଣିନି ତ innocence ରେ ସେ ହସିଦେଲା, but then next moment ଯେତେବେଳେ ସେ ବାପସ ଆସୁଥିଲା ସେ ସେଇ ଗାଈକୁ ଦେଖିଲା କି that shook her, that how stupid was I to laugh at that dog and look at it now, it is dead. Okay, so for
Yes,
an 8-year-old girl, that was a lesson. That was a very
yes.
sad incident that happened. Okay,
Ma'am,
ठीक ଅଛି.
also it is
So
also
about the
know
author,
that Valley was very soft-hearted because in some happiness he become very happy, and after that death of that cow, he become very sad as he he don't want
yes,
that the cows. Yes, ma'am.
ଅଧା ଗେନ୍ଦରେଇକି ରଖିଦେଲ କଣ ପାଇଁ?
Ma'am, ଏତିକି
She doesn't want that cow to die କଥା ନାହିଁ, but she never thought that the cow will be dead while she is
yes,
returning.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
You know?
Yes, ma'am. Her all happiness
ଅଛି.
gone over because of that.
Yes. But then she gathered her, by the time she reached her village, she gathered her enthusiasm and excitement. Isn't it? That's what we heard in that video. है ना? ଟିକେ ଡେରି
Yes.
ସେ ଚୁପ ରହିଲା, sad ହେଲା, but then she gathered her
Then the home
excitement and
ତା mind
enthusiasm.
ଟାକୁ means divert କରିଦେଲା କି ସେ ପହଞ୍ଚିଗଲା.
Yes, yes. Okay. Now we'll know about the author. Who is the author? Who is the author? Come on, fast.
R.S.
R-
Krishnasamy.
R.S. Krishnasamy.
What was his pseudonym?
Vallikanan.
Vallikanan.
What do you mean by pseudonym?
Nickname
Nickname?
Ma'am, a name
Ah,
by
or his
nickname.
stage name? Stage name.
Yes, you can say, because କେତେ ଜଣଙ୍କର name ଅଲଗା ଥାଏ, ମାନେ real name ଅଲଗା ଥାଏ, but they use catchy or a familiar name ଯୋଉଟା easily ସମସ୍ତେ relate କରିପାରିବେ. So for that they pick up a pseudonym. Okay, so his pseudonym was Vallikanan, and he was a Tamilian thile, writer, journalist, critic, and a translator from Tamil Nadu, India. He was born in Rajavalipuram. He started writing at a very young age. Now, as Shantanu, Shubham, you guys said that there is no age. Okay, there is no age and you can do anything. But for that, you have to have that zeal, have to have that skill in you, and have to have that focus in you. So this author also was very young when he started writing, because he loved writing and he had that skill. Okay, so that is why he started at a very young age, and he had published 25 books by the time he was 30. Okay, so he worked for some magazines. He also wrote under the pseudonyms Nayandi Bharati and Koranathan. He has written a total of 75 books in his life. Okay, all these essay anthologies and plays and poetry collections, novels. Okay, and he died in 2006. So it is just recently that he died. Okay, we'll talk about Madam Rides the Bus. This lesson is about a brave 8-year-old girl who had a strong desire, and along with it, the courage to fulfill it. Why is she considered brave?
Because he gone alone, all alone in that bus without anyone of
Yes.
means relative.
Yes. So she liked gazing at the hustle and bustle of the street, and her what do you mean by hustle and bustle?
Gohali. Crowd.
Crowd, yes. And her favorite part was the sight of a bus arriving and departing. Thus, she developed a deep desire to travel by bus. For that, she needed all sorts of information about the bus journey, collect the bus fare, and then plan it so that she could be back home before her mother woke up from her afternoon nap. Thus, the story brings us recounts of how innocently but responsibly she fulfilled her deepest desire and her experiences on the bus ride. How an incident makes her realize the reality of death. Okay, this is the part 1. In the part 1, 2, 3 କରିକି ଦିଆ ହେଇଛି ନା book ରେ? Book ରେ ବି, if you have read the chapter? Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So the story is about an 8-year-old girl named, we'll preferably call her Valli. Okay, that is easily accessible. Just like every child, Valli is eager to know about new and unknown things, because of which she can spend all day looking at the hustle and bustle of the street. So, likewise, in the previous classes also, we have discussed about children, how their nature is. Usually when we are child, when we are in a very young age, we are naturally very inquisitive. Okay, we keep on asking questions. We are very much into discovering new things and knowing about new things. Okay, that is the reason why we keep on asking
Questionable.
questions. Yes, and such was Valli also. Okay, she was very, very eager, and she was very inquisitive about to know about new and unknown things. Okay, and then she loved the crowd and the hustle and bustle. The street was always crowded, and she loved it. She loved gazing at the street, and you know know different things, know different people, how people are reacting, how they're going to buy things, and all of it. Okay, so she was, from this we know that she was a very, very good observer also. Okay, she was observing things around her and or around her environment. Okay, moreover, she has no friends. Now, in which chapter also we have seen that a person, the main protagonist, has no friends.
The Diary of Anne.
Ma'am,
Where we have
Anne
seen.
Frank. The Diary of
And
Anne
Yes,
Frank.
Anne Frank.
Anna
Diary of
Frank.
Yes, she had no friends,
Ma'am,
and
she had friends, but she don't have best friends. Means, with whom we can share his feelings. एमका क्लास रे मेंशन करा हेतली कि से मींस तांको फ्रेंड सहित गपुथुला मींस
tanko
that was
crowd.
the reason.
Yes, and then one more girl also. Recently we've studied.
Yes,
Wanda.
She also had no friends.
Wanda
Yes,
Wanda.
Patanji.
very good. Yes, very good. Okay, so now we have another girl, Valli. She also has no friends.
No
Okay,
friends.
she has no friends to play with. So the only option she has is to look at what is going on outside. Even though she couldn't play with friends, looking at the outside affairs was just as entertaining. So she was enjoying. It was not like she was getting bored, but she was enjoying whatever was happening in and around her environment. Okay, and she was learning from it also. She learned a lot of new things in the process, and the best part was the arrival and departure of the bus that routed from her village to a nearby town. So the route of the bus was that it was from her village to the nearby town, and then back from the town to the village. So she used to observe the bus on a regular basis. Okay, and by observing it slowly, she developed the desire, the want to go for a ride in that particular bus. The bus crossed the village street at hourly intervals, once while going to the town and the other while coming back. Just gazing at the bus filled with a new set of passengers every time it crossed the street gave Wali lasting excitement and joy. So, what she was gazing at the bus, that it used to cross the village street hourly, in hourly intervals. Okay, so once it was going to the town and then coming back, and every time it went to and fro of that particular street, she always saw a new set of passengers every time crossing that street. Whenever she saw the bus, it carried new set of passengers. Okay, so that was also very exciting and very joyous for her. After continuously watching the bus arrive and depart for a couple of days, even she wished to take a ride on it just once. Soon the wish grew stronger and became a desire, which means that there was now more longing to travel in the bus. She wanted to be fascinated by looking at people's faces who would step out of the bus. Her desire grew to the extent that she would be jealous if any of her friends would go by bus and recite their experiences. So she was also, so her wish became a desire, and then it was like she was very fascinated. She was strongly, determined to कि नहीं मुझे तो जाना ही जाना है. And she used to get very angry and upset when some of her schoolmates or friends, they used to go and they used to talk about their experiences of their bus ride and everything, of the town and of everything else. So she used to get very irritated, very angry, very jealous also. Okay, so such was her wish turning into desire and then her fascination. Okay. She would be jealous if any of go by bus and recite their experiences. Upon listening to them, she would exclaim, "Proud, proud." Neither she nor her friends knew the actual meaning of the word proud, but would use it in order to express disapproval. So sometimes in the video also, it was explained that sometimes we say words which are not appropriate and which we do not understand the exact meaning, and we say it by our own understanding. ଆମେ ଭାବୁ କି ସେଇଟାର meaning ସେଇଆ. Okay, and sometimes we say it in an inappropriate place and situation. Okay, so ସବୁବେଳେ from this what we learn, what do we learn from this? If you do not know the actual meaning of the word, you do not use it in any circumstance. Just to show that you know some good vocabs, don't do that. Whenever you don't know the exact meaning of that word, do not use it in any circumstance or any sentence or against anybody. Okay,
It will lead to a
understood?
problem.
Yes, because it will
Yes,
lead to
ma'am.
misunderstandings also. Okay.
ଭଲ ପିଲା ପାଖକୁ ଖରାପ ପଳେଇବ, ଖରାପ ପିଲା ପାଖକୁ ଭଲ ପଳେଇବ.
Okay, first ଏତିକି ବୁଝି ହେଲା? Any doubts?
Yes,
Anything
ma'am.
that you want to add on? କିଏ କିଛି add
No,
on
ma'am.
କରିବ?
No,
Okay.
ma'am.
No, ma'am.
In order to fulfill her desire of traveling by bus alone, she needed to be prepared with all sorts of information. So from here we know that Vali is very organized, okay, very systematic, and she collects information. She knows how to plan her. She knows what she's very clear in her mind that what she wants, and to get there, what all preparations are required. Okay, so she plans it really very well. At the age of 8 only, doing this is commendable. Okay, very praiseworthy. So now to fulfill her desire of traveling by bus alone, she has to first have all the important informations regarding the bus timings, the fare, where it is, where it goes, and in what time it comes back, and all of that. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
so what she did, therefore, she started paying attention to conversations. So she did this indirectly. How she collected the information? She did it indirectly. Not like ସିଧା ତ ଯାଇଥାନ୍ତା conductor କୁ ପଚାରିଥିଲେ ବି ଜଣା ପଡି ଯାଇଥାନ୍ତା, ଜଣା ପଡିଥାନ୍ତା କି ନାଇଁ?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
ଗୋଟେ ଥରକରେ ସବୁ ଜଣା ପଡି ଯାଇଥାନ୍ତା,
Yes.
है ना? So but what she did, she never wanted anybody to know that she's planning something like this, and she did it very smartly. Okay, କିଏ ଯଦି ଜାଣିଥାନ୍ତା କି ସେ ଯଦି directly ଯାଇକି ପଚାରିଥାନ୍ତା, ତା ମା କୁ ଯଦି ଯାଇକି କିଏ କହିଥାନ୍ତେ କି ତମ ଝିଅ ଏମିତି ପଚାରୁଥିଲା, ତ ତା ମାମା ତାକୁ restrict କରିଥାନ୍ତେ. So she was very careful also, very responsible also. Okay, so all these things we see of an 8-year-old Vali. So she started paying attention to conversations between her neighbors who were used to traveling by bus, and in the process would ask a few more careful questions to gain further information. So she was very smart enough to gather all the informations, and she concentrated on the conversations and tried to gather all the important informations regarding the bus from her neighbor, because they were regularly traveling in that bus. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
this way she prepared a plan and knew that the town was 6 miles from the village. One-sided fare was 30 paisa, which was nothing for a well-dressed man, but was too much for Vali, and the trip duration on one side was 45 minutes. So 45 minutes jiba, 45 minutes asiba. Kete hoji?
90 minutes.
90 minutes. So 90 minutes ତାକୁ ବାହାର କରିବାକୁ ପଡିବ without her mother knowing about this. Okay, so କେତେ ସୁନ୍ଦର ସେ ପ୍ଲାନିଂ କଲା, ସେ ସବୁ ଜାଣିଲା that 6 miles distance ରେ ଅଛି, one side fare ହେଲା 30 पैसा, 30 पैसा ଗୋଟେ rich କି ଗୋଟେ well to do family ର ଲୋକ ପାଇଁ କିଛି ନାହିଁ, କିନ୍ତୁ Valli comes from a poor family. From this we know that it was too much for Valli, ମାନେ she comes from a not so good, not so well placed financially status, ଏତେ ଭଲ ନଥିଲା maybe. Okay, so that is why 30 paisa was also very high fare for her. Okay, and the time duration would be 90 minutes going and coming. So the same bus upon finishing its trip till down would bring Valli back if she paid 30 more paisa. ମାନେ ଯିବାର 30 पैसा, ଆସିବାର 30 पैसा, କେତେ ହଉଛି?
60.
60
पैसा. Yes. So ତାକୁ total gather କରିବାର ଅଛି 60 पैसा. Okay, ବାହାର ହାତରେ ରଖିବାର ଅଛି 90 minutes. Okay, ତ ସବୁ planning ସେ କରିବ. She gathered all the important information and now she's going to plan. So thus, if she could get on the bus by 1 o'clock in the afternoon and reach there by 1:45, the same bus could bring her back to the village by 2:45. That is how she planned. That is how she's taking out 90 minutes. Okay. This way, she calculated to save that much amount and time to sneak out without anyone noticing. At that particular time, what does her mother do?
She takes
तो मामा
a
कौन
nap.
करती?
She takes a nap
Afternoon
during
nap.
afternoon.
Nap during
Yes.
afternoon.
Yes, that is
Ma'am,
why
there-
she decided to.
Ma'am, there is
What
some
happened?
background noise.
Yeah, not from me,
Yes,
but
ma'am. Ma'am, your
it's
microphone.
gone now, no? Whose microphone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, gone now.
It was not from me, but.
Yes, ma'am. It is not. Mhm.
Okay. So first part we have completed, understood till this much?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Somebody give me a quick summary of the first part. Only touch the important portions. Quickly. First part ର ଖାଲି ଗୋଟେ ଛୋଟ brief ଦିଅ.
Ma'am, this story is refers to an 8-year old girl named Valli. This was the story about his first bus journey. How he managed to go on that bus.
How
She managed to go on that bus. For Valli, the outside world is very fascinating, and his desire was her desire was to go in a bus. She had a desire to know about new things. Her favorite pastime was standing in front of the door of her house because she had no one of her age to play with her, as she has no best friends or friends. She always observed the new passenger inside the bus, which give a great joy to her. So one day he prepared to one day she prepared to go on that bus. So she gathered some information from her neighbor, such as means time details, and what is the cost, and what is the time of that bus, means what is the time of the bus reaching there and come back to her home. And at last he knew that the bus fare was 30 paisa of one way and 45 minutes to the town. She collected the money for the bus.
Okay, good. Anybody wants to add on? କୋଟା ସେ ଛାଡିଲା? ଠିକ ଅଛି ପୁରା ଶାନ୍ତନୁ କହୁଛି ଶୁଭମ.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, but he means use pronouns, means he or she, he used that.
Yes, ma'am.
That one only.
ସେଟା ଶାନ୍ତନୁର ଟିକେ ଥାଏ, ସେ ତ ପୁଅ ପିଲା ନା, ତ ସେ କହିନଥିଲା ସେଥର ମୁଁ ପୁଅ ପିଲା ତ ମୁଁ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ପୁଅ ହିଁ ଭାବେ.
No, ma'am, his style of telling that.
Yes, he, she could be he. Nahi.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Part 2. So what happened? Now, after she planned everything, what happened? After replanning and recalculating, finally came the riding day. So now, in part 2, we are going to experience that day when she is actually going to go for a ride in that bus. Bus was on its usual route to the main highway, which they heard a shouting voice commanding them to stop the bus. ଆମ ଓଡିଶାରେ କେମିତି କୁହନ୍ତି ଟ୍ରାଭେଲ ତ କରିଥିବ ବସ୍ କୁ ଷ୍ଟପ୍ କରିବା ପାଇଁ କଣ କୁହନ୍ତି ଶୁଭମ ତମ ବରହମପୁରରେ
Ma'am, I didn't
ଅଛି ନା
travel in bus
ଗୋଟେ
much.
ଷ୍ଟାଇଲ much ତ ନାହିଁ but sometimes so you have
Ma'am, one or
traveled
two times I've traveled. That also I don't remember when I have traveled.
କଣ ବରହମପୁରରେ ରହିକି you have not traveled in a bus
Ma'am,
what are you saying ଶୁଭମ
ଓଡିଶାରେ ତ means hand ଟାକୁ flow କରନ୍ତି ୟାରରେ like
କଣ
ma'am
କରନ୍ତି
hand ଟାକୁ flow କରନ୍ତି ୟାରରେ like bus ଦେଖିଲେ
ଆଚ୍ଛା ଏମିତି ଏମିତି
no ma'am ପୁରା
ରଖ
means
ରଖ କହିକି
straight like that.
That is when you are in front of the bus, but when you are behind the bus, how would you call?
yes
Behind
very good Ishana that I'm actually to understand what Shantanu is saying I have to become Shantanu I it's like very difficult for me to understand what Shantanu says sometimes
behind
okay
the bus
Ishana any experiences चंडीगढ़ में बस को कैसे रोकते थे
I was very small, so I don't remember actually. And we
okay
have not traveled in bus
okay
there.
okay so no local commute and local communication भी बस रे करिनो केबे
No, ma'am. Ma'am,
चंडीगढ़
only
रे
ଏବେ
one.
ତ stop
No,
ହେଇଗଲାଣି
no,
ଲୋକ
no,
ଦେଖିଲେ
ma'am.
ବସ୍ ଅଟୋମେଟିକ ରହିଯାଉଛି ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ପଇସା ଦରକାର
okay okay then I have traveled a lot in buses okay and ଯେବେ ବି ମାନେ ଆମ ବେଳକୁ ତ କଣ କଣ ସେମାନେ ସବୁ କହି କହିକି ଗାଡିକୁ ଷ୍ଟାର୍ଟ କହିବେ ଗାଡିକୁ ରଖିବା ପାଇଁ କହିବେ ବସରେ bus traveling train traveling I have fond memories of my childhood okay and I really loved traveling in the bus ଥରେ ତ ଆମର ବସ ରେ ଇନସିଡେଣ୍ଟ ବି ଏମିତି ହେଇଥିଲା କି ଜଙ୍ଗଲକୁ କ୍ରସ୍ କରୁଥିଲୁ and real raw I was in standard 4 or 5 or something we were traveling and in the midnight around like 1 or 2 2 am ହେଇଥିଲା ବୋଧେ पूरा बस टा पूरा जो घाटी एरिया रे ट्रैवल करची पूरा स्लो अच्छी okay then everybody is sleeping and then I was the one me and my brother we were looking out of the window from the bus like हमको जंगल एरिया ये सब देखिया को बहुत बढ़िया लगे तो हमें सोई नथिलु and we literally saw a tiger coming and jumping on the bus it was on the bus on our bus ମାନେ ଏତେ that was my first experience with a wild animal tiger को ଏତେ ପାଖରୁ ଦେଖିବା
ମ୍ୟାମ୍ କୋଉ
ଧଡ଼ାମ
ଏରିଆରେ
କିନା ଡେଇଲା ଯୋଉ କୋରାପୁଟ ଯିବା ପାଇଁ ଯୋଉ ଏରିଆ
yes ma'am
ସେଇ
ମାନେ
ଏରିଆରେ ଘାଟି ଗୁଡା ଥାଏ ନା କୋରାପୁଟ ଜୟପୁର ଗଲା
yes ma'am
ବେଳକୁ ତ ସେଇ
ଏଇଖା ଗଲେ
ଏରିଆରେ
ସେଇ
ରାତିରେ
ପାର୍ଟ
ଏକଦମ
ଆମେ ଏକ୍ସପିରିଏନ୍ସ କରିପାରିବୁନି
ହଁ କଣଟା
ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ଏଇଖା ଯଦି ଆମେ ଯିବା ମିନ୍ସ ସେ ଘାଟି ତ ଥିବ କିନ୍ତୁ ଆମେ ସେଇ ମିନ୍ସ ଆନିମଲ ୱାଇଲ୍ଡ ଆନିମଲ କୁ ଏକ୍ସପିରିଏନ୍ସ କରିପାରିବୁନି ସେମାନେ
ହଁ
ବହୁତ
ସେଇଟା ୟୁ
କମିଗଲେଣି
ନେଭର ନୋ ବଟ୍ ଆମେ ବି ଜାଣିନଥିଲୁ କି ଏମିତି ଅଚାନକ ଆସିଯିବ ନା ଟାଇଗର ବଟ୍ ଇଟ୍ ୱାଜ ଭେରି
ହଁ
ଭେରି ସ୍କେରି
ଭାଲୁ ବି ବେଶୀ ଆସନ୍ତି
ହଁ
ଟାଇଗର ଠାରୁ ବେଶୀ
ଇଟ୍
ଭାଲୁ
ୱାଜ
ଆସନ୍ତି
ମାଇ ଫର୍ଷ୍ଟ ଏଇଟା ଯେମିତି ର ଯୋଉ ଗାଈର ଏକ୍ସପିରିଏନ୍ସ ଦେଖିକି ମତେ ମୋର ସାନ ବେଳର ଏଇ ଏକ୍ସପିରିଏନ୍ସ ମନେ ପଡିଲା କି ଦିସ୍ ୱାଜ ଦ scariest experience as a child that I had because ମୁଁ ବହୁତ ଡରି ଯାଇଥିଲି ଆମେ ତ ୱିଣ୍ଡୋ ପାଖରେ ବସିଥିଲୁ ନା ମାନେ ୱିଣ୍ଡୋ ଟା ଖୋଲା ଅଛି ଆଉ ଆମେ ଦେଖୁଛୁ ୱିଣ୍ଟର ବି ଥିଲା ତ ୱିଣ୍ଡୋ ଭିତରୁ ଯଦି ପୁଳାଏ ନେଇ ଯାଇଥାନ୍ତା ଏକାଥରେ କାଢିକି ନାଇଁ
yes
କି
ma'am
so that was my scary anybody else has a similar kind of bus experience anybody
ମ୍ୟାମ୍
we have many new
ମୋର
people
ଅଛି ଯେ
also
କିନ୍ତୁ ଲାଇକ୍ ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ସେଟା ବସ୍ ଏକ୍ସପିରିଏନ୍ସ କୁହାହବନି ବିକଜ ମୁଁ ମୋଟର ସାଇକେଲ ମିନ୍ସ ଟ୍ରାଭେଲ କରିବାକୁ ଭଲ ପାଏ ଆଉ ବାପାଙ୍କ ସହିତ ମୁଁ କେଉଁଝର ଏରିଆରେ ବହୁତ ଦିନ ରହିଛି ମିନ୍ସ ମିନିମମ ଲାଇକ୍ ରଥଯାତ୍ରା ବେଳକୁ ସେ ଯାଇଥିଲୁ ବାପା କହୁଥିଲେ କି ମିନ୍ସ ମୋର ମନ ଅଛି ଏବେ କିନ୍ତୁ ମୋ ବାପା କହୁଥିଲେ କି ସେ ମାନେ ତାଙ୍କର ଗୋଟେ ସାଙ୍ଗ ସେ ସାଇକେଲ ରେ ଯିବା ଆସିବା କରେ ଅଫିସ ରୁ ବାପା ସେତେବେଳେ ସେଠି ଥିଲେ ମ୍ୟାନେଜର ତେଣୁ ଯେତେବେଳେ ସେ ମିନ୍ସ 4ଟା ହେଇଗଲା କି ସେ ଫେରିକି ଗଲେ ସାଇକେଲରେ ତାଙ୍କର ଘରକୁ କିନ୍ତୁ ମଝିରେ ଗୋଟେ ମିନ୍ସ ଗୋଟେ ଫରେଷ୍ଟ ଟାଇପ ର ମିନ୍ସ କହିହବନି କିନ୍ତୁ ଗୋଟେ ଜଙ୍ଗଲ ଟାଇପ ର ପଡୁଥିଲା ରାତି ହେଇଗଲାଣି ସେ ଯାଉଥିଲେ କି ହଠାତ୍ କରି ସାମ୍ନା ଗୋଟେ ଭାଲୁ ଆସିଗଲା ଫେର ସେ ସାଇକେଲ ରେ ଅଛନ୍ତି ଭାଲୁ ଭାଲୁଟା ତାଙ୍କୁ ଜମ୍ପ କଲା ଫନି ପାର୍ଟ ହଉଛି ଭାଲୁ ତାକୁ ମିନ୍ସ ବାଇଟ କଲେ ତାଙ୍କୁ କିନ୍ତୁ ସାଇକେଲ ଟା ଭାଲୁ ଉପରେ ଗଳିଗଲା ଭାଲୁ ଟପି ପଳେଇ
ଆଚ୍ଛା ତ ତମେ ଥିଲ ନା ନଥିଲ ତାଙ୍କ ସହିତ
ମିନ୍ସ ମୁଁ ନଥିଲି କିନ୍ତୁ ବାପା ତାପରେ ସିଏ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଫେରିକି ଆଇଲେ ବାପାଙ୍କୁ ଏ ସବୁ କହିଲେ ତାପରେ ବାପା ମିନ୍ସ ତାଙ୍କୁ ଟ୍ରିଟମେଣ୍ଟ କରେଇଲେ ଦେନ୍ ତାଙ୍କର କିଛି ଗୋଟେ ମିନ୍ସ
ଆଚ୍ଛା
ବାଇଟ ଟା ପୁରା ସେଠି ପୁରା ହାତ ପୁରା ଭାଙ୍ଗିଲା ଭଳିଆ ଷ୍ଟେଜ ରେ ପଳେଇଥିଲା କାରଣ ବହୁତ ଜୋର ଆମ୍ପୁଡି ହେଇଥିଲା ତାପରେ ପୁରା ଜ୍ୱର
ଓକେ
ତାଙ୍କୁ ବହୁତ ଦିନ ଧରି ଧରିଲା ଦେନ୍ ତାଙ୍କର
ହୁଁ
ହେଲା ତାପରେ ଠିକ ହେଇଗଲେ
ओके ठीक अच्छी जब बस रे ट्रैवल करिवो सेबे एक्सपीरियंस करिवो गेट बैक टू द चैप्टर ओके मोर बस
Yes,
रो
ma'am.
एक्सपीरियंस मु गोटे शेयर करथली एज अ किड so this was the day that she's actually going to ride Valli okay so after replanning and recalculating finally came the riding day bus was on its usual route to the main highway when they heard a shouting voice commanding them to stop the bus on hearing the voice the bus slowed down and on seeing Valli a small girl the conductor asked her to tell the one supposed to travel to hurry up so the conductor when she saw Valli in when they slowed down and they were looking for the person who has to get onto the bus and they can move on okay so the conductor was not sure that Valli is that girl who is going to travel but then the conductor reacted in a very normal manner कि अरे भाई जिसको जाना है उसको बोलो जल्दी चढ़े बस पे ठीक है so on hearing the voice, the conductor, after looking at Valli, asked her to tell the one supposed to travel to hurry up and get into that bus. When Valli told him that she was the passenger, he was shocked to see such a young girl and thus stopped the bus. It was hard for the conductor to believe that she was about to travel alone. So even the conductor, even anybody of us, if we are traveling in a bus and we see a very small 8 to 9 years girl एते छोटो झियो जदि ट्रैवल करिवो then we'll also be a little shocked and we'll also be a little concerned कि एकला काहे की जाउछु तो पेरेंट्स कांती कि तोरो रिलेटिव्स कांती हमें पचारिबानी कि generally nahi ki
yes,
so that
ma'am.
is the way we will react and that's the same way the conductor also reacted then she handed him her bus fare now she had a lot of integrity in her and बहुत self respect थिला एटा जଣା पड़ची हला सो से कंडक्टर एमती ना भाबु कि मु फ्री रे जिबी ता पूर्वरु ही से तार फेयर दे देला कंडक्टर को ओके द कंडक्टर ऑफर्ड हर हेल्प टू क्लाइंब अप द बस बट responsible and proud as she was she made her intentions clear that she needed no help so she was very very she behaved like an adult कि मैं तो भैया बड़ी हूँ तुम मुझे छोटी मत समझो मैं मेरे को कोई हेल्प नहीं चाहिए आई कैन डू इट माई सेल्फ शी वाज ऑफ दैट कि माने से माइंडसेट रे से जाइथिला एंड शी मेड इट वेरी क्लियर टू द कंडक्टर कंडक्टर तो इंसानियत पई माने छोटो छुआटा सेति पई ताको हाथ देला कि आ से चढ़ी जा तो से जगह रे कोन कला वाली दैट she made her intentions clear that she did not want any help and she climbed the bus by herself okay when little Valli refused to take any help the conductor sarcastically asked her not to be angry with him and that he is just trying to help so कंडक्टर को भी टिके फनी लागिला ओके एती छोटो छुआ बाबा रे एते रोप देखौची हां तो कंडक्टर भी टिके थट्टारे टिके टॉन्ट मारला परिका कहला कि अरे रागे ना मु आई एम जस्ट ट्राइंग टू हेल्प ओके in a light tone he addressed her madam and escorted her to the seat while telling other passengers to make way for the madam so usually जेंति छुआ मान को चिड़ा हुए कंडक्टर भी टिके ता संगे लागुथला सेमती ओके so madam कह के ताको एड्रेस कला because she was behaving like
Madam.
an adult like a madam
Yes.
okay तो तारो राग आ तारो माने मूड आ तारो स्वभाव देखि कि कंडक्टर ताको टॉन्ट माने गोटे थट्टारे मैडम डाकुला पुणी पैसेंजर्स मान को भी कहला कि अरे भाई साइड हुआ मैडम आ रही हैं एंती कहतेनि छोट पिला को चिड़ाऊ ना एंती
yes
तो सी भी से सेम जिनस करिले ओके व्हिच इज वेरी नेचुरल and since it was afternoon not many people traveled during that time and thus everyone's eyes were at Wali. So afternoon re usually there are no not much passengers in the bus. Okay 1 o'clock रे किए जीवो जे भी जिबे टाउन को काम पाई जिबे तो सकाळ 8टा 9टा बेले बेसी लोक थांती आ फेरिबा टाइम रे थिबे जेतले ऑफिस सरे कि जहां भी तांको काम को जाइथिबे फेरिला बेलको जेंती 5टा 6टा 7टा एई बेलको बस भिड़ थाए किंतु आफ्टरनून बेले एते लोक नथांती ओके there are no much not much passengers during that time so alpo loko thile and then since Wali was very small and she was traveling alone she gathered all the attention of the passengers in that bus so everyone was looking at her all of them adored her along with the conductor okay so everyone was admiring her was trying to talk or trying to have fun with her and they were admiring her mane adore kariba mane kona buझुଛ all of them adored her along with the
means to
conductor
tease
what do you understand
tease
by this
or respectful tease.
Ma'am, to admire
ha
her.
yes admiring her but what were they admiring of her
Mm,
se konta admire korthile ta bisare
like
her innocence.
yes and Rohan and all, if you want to join, please join in. If you want to answer,
Ma'am, her
Rohan,
adult-like
Sapnajit.
behavior. Adult-like behavior.
Yes, yes, adult-like behavior. Because she was very small to
no
behave in such a, matured manner, isn't it?
yes
And what else? Anything else?
I'm angry
Yes, she was not becoming friendly with strangers.
yes
That means she was very responsible. She knew
acting like
what to do. Her
madam
intention. Hmm. So that is why they were admiring her and ଯେବେ ବି ଆମେ ଛୁଆ ଦେଖିଲେ ଆମେ ବି ନିଜେ ଗେଲ କରୁ ନା କି ତ ସେଇ ହିସାବରେ they were
ସେ
also
ଚିଡି ଯାଆନ୍ତି
very ଛୁଆ ଗୁଡା ଚିଡି ଯାଆନ୍ତି କାହିଁକି ନା obviously ଆମକୁ ଜାଣି ନଥାନ୍ତି ନା ଆମେ ତ strangers ହି okay so while everyone was laughing it made Wali shy and thus she hurried to her seat so everybody was laughing and giggling over there and they were trying to tease her so then she hurried she got onto the bus, gave her bus fare, and then she ran to catch her seat. Again, in a sarcastic tone, the conductor seeks the approval of Madam before beginning the journey and then blows his whistle twice to signal the driver to start the bus. Now, then again, in a sarcastic tone, mane thota taunt wala tone re ki, "Are madam chale kya abhi?" Okay, that's the way he would have said. He, "Ho gaya madam, chale kya abhi?" So like that, the conductor again asks for permission, and then he blows his whistle twice. That is the signal for the driver to go on with the journey. The bus was new, as was evident from the overhead silver bars that were shining. So it was a new bus. How could we know that it is a new bus? Because the silver bars on top of the head बस रे देखिथिबो ऊपर एमती
shining
रड गुडा थाए धरिबा पई हाथ
ଧରିବା
माने
ପାଇଁ
सपोर्ट हाँ तो दोज
ମ୍ୟାମ୍
वर
ଠିଆ ହେଇକି ଯାଆନ୍ତି
शाइनिंग हाँ
ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ଯୋଉମାନେ ଷ୍ଟାଣ୍ଡ
well,
ହେଇକି ଯାଆନ୍ତି ଷ୍ଟାଣ୍ଡ ହେଇକି
हाँ हाँ हाँ
ସିଟ୍ ଫିଲ୍ ଅପ୍ ହେଇଗଲେ
तो yes so that was also still shining जदि पुरना बस हेइथांता कोन हालत हेइथांता बस रो
junk junk type ର ଲାଗେ
yes junk लग जाइथांता पूरा एकदम black brown हेइथांता okay so that's how we it is evident that the bus was a new one there was a clock so here now Wali is starting to observe how the interior is of the bus and what all are there in the bus she is describing one by one okay there was a clock just in front of Wali and the seats were extremely comfortable the outside was painted in glowing white with stripes of green along the sides. She quickly glanced at the insides of the bus and turned towards the window to have a view of the outside, but couldn't have the complete view, for she was too short and the window blinds were obstructing her view. So seat re basi gale, window pane ru dekha jauni taku bahar. Okay, so what she did, she was in a hurry. She wanted to, observe, and she wanted to experience all of that is happening in and outside the
Road.
bus quickly, jaldi pura excited hai ki. Okay, so jaldi se dekh dଉଛି कि bus ର interior କେମିତି, bus ଭିତରେ କଣ ଅଛି, and then ସାଙ୍ଗେ ସାଙ୍ଗେ window pane को ଦେଖିକି try କରୁଛି କି outside ର view କେମିତି ଲାଗୁଛି bus ରୁ ଦେଖିବାକୁ, ସେଇ ଜିନିଷ ସବୁ ଦେଖିବା ପାଇଁ। କିନ୍ତୁ କଣ ହଉଛି ନା she is small, okay, she's just 8 years, तो obviously seat ରେ ବସିଗଲେ ତାକୁ ବାହାର ଠିକ ସେ ଦେଖା ଯାଉନି, she is unable to see or capture the entire scenic view. Okay, thus what she does then, she decided to stand up to be able to look properly. Now what she does, she stood up on just in front of her seat. Okay, seat ସାମ୍ନାରେ ଗୋଡ଼ ରଖିବା ପାଇଁ ଯୋଉ ଜାଗା ଥାଏ ସେଇଠି ଠିଆ ହେଇଗଲା, and window ପଟକୁ peep କରିକି ସେ ଦେଖୁଛି. The bus was on a very narrow road. On one side there was a canal, and beyond it trees, distant mountains, and a large blue sky could be seen, whereas on the other hand there was greenery all around. So these all things she has described it so beautifully, what all things were inside the bus, how the bus was painted, and how it was to look at the outside. Okay, outside scenic view ta kemti thila. Okay, it's time we'll do this is lengthy chapter, very easy but lengthy chapter. We'll do it next class. It's 5. Okay, ଏତିକି ଯାଇ ବୁଝି ହେଲା part 1 and 2?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
ନା part 3 ବି ଅଛି?
हाँ,
Ma'am, totally part 4.
part 3 ଯାକେ ତ ଅଛି, part 4 ତ ନାହିଁ, part 3 ଯାଇ ଅଛି ତ।
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
हाँ, okay, next class read the chapter and come, and the question answers also we'll discuss it, we'll finish it fast. Okay,
okay ma'am, thank you ma'am.
okay, thank you Soma ma'am.
Thank you, Pragya ma'am. Thank you, students.
Thank you.